Then, am I live? 1, 2, 3, 4. One. Then, am I live? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are live. And we are live. Welcome everyone to another Berates podcast. It's going to be an interesting time to see what we talk about. If you do want to join, just follow the Discord. It should be in my Twitter, or just look me up. So I've been watching Kaguya-sama, and I think romance in anime is quite an interesting topic because. Well, an interesting genre because a lot of it will go to the comedy aspect. And I think, it's always seen, romance genre in anime has always been, a shoujo, So, only the dawns. It's like, shoujo or shonen AI. It's always towards that sort of teenage girl demographic. But I think what Kaguya-sama does is it allows people to, by using comedy. And then because it doesn't really have it subverts the genre because it's two people who are in love trying to, very powerful, trying to, intimidate the other into making them, fall in love with each other. And I think that's a good start for, romance as a whole. I think how to make a genre popular is by, subverting it. So you could say that, let's say for One Punch Man, the shonen formula was dying out and stuff like that. It was just becoming repetitive. But now with One Punch Man, it's subverted the genre. Created a somewhat comedic aspect, but with those shonen influence, a sort of parody. I think that's what Kaguya-sama does, and it's quite funny. So anime, jokes in anime, it's kind of, it's very rare and few between, but I think, what makes it, I think it's not, your typical, face, well, it is that, they do make faces, but there's, a setup, a punchline, stuff like that. It's not just, walking into a room by using comedy. And then because it doesn't really have it subverts the genre. Sorry about that. Anyway, so when we're talking about, there's punchlines, there's setups, there's running gags and stuff. There's something you would see normally in a comedy show that many comedies in anime don't have. But the other example would be Konosuba, that has running gags, set up punchlines, a storyline between their jokes. And I think that's what makes Kaguya-sama very popular and stuff. I think the characters also help because you got someone like Ishiyama. I think the Hikikomori, he's lonely and stuff like that. So he's always says what it is and stuff. I love his misunderstanding with Kaguya and stuff like that. So I think it's a very interesting aspect of a genre that we don't see that often. I think when it comes to something like manga and anime, you kind of don't, it's hard to pick and choose and stuff because I'm reading a new manga called Tomodachi Game, and it's quite hard because it is, I was recommended it because I'm a big fan of Liar Game, and I think that's just one of the greatest manga to have existed in terms of just strategy, intellect. This is not a manga for everyone, but it's definitely for me because it really just takes the cake. It's quite hard because it is, I was recommended it because I'm. So, you've got interesting strategies, subverting the game types. You have a whole round that's just solely devoted to musical chairs, and we've got these three factions who are trying to manipulate the game in their favor. And this musical chairs takes place on a whole island of people trying to monopolize chairs, trying to bribe, trying to steal, trying to find plot holes in the game to make it succeed. And another thing is that a lot of these death games revolve around sixth formers or GCSE kids, your high school, if for my American viewers. And what makes the line game so popular is that it's not your 16, 17 year olds. These are like 25-year-old adults to 60-year-old adults who live through life, who know what they're going through, and you would actually think are actually smart to get through these games. And I think the problem with Tomodachi game is that it uses these 16-year-olds and think, oh yeah, we outsmarted this by doing that and doing this. And it just doesn't make sense for any 16-year-old to be like that. And there's some ridiculous situations you can get into. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that if you're trying to make a tense-filled game, you can't have these amazing geniuses. Because every 16-year-old in this game is some sort of amazing genius, even though it's a deck game. I think going on the subject of death games. Another problem with death games is that we always start with the amnesia prone, so no one knows how they got there and stuff like that. Tomodachi game covers that up because you see their lives and you see them get knocked out and they don't have any amnesia. But with something like was it Alice in Wonderland, the Alice in Wonderland manga, we all just wake up and it's a death game, simple. And I think what the problem with that leaves you is that how do you end it? Do you end it with that it was aliens, or do you end it that it was something else completely entirely? It was all a dream and stuff. And I think put your death game in that situation, it makes every ending cliche. And I think that's kind of what makes a death game, subgenre, quite difficult to finish, because it's always going to be a disappointing ending, no matter how you game. And in Alice in Wonderland manga, there are some great games, some fantastic psychological games, and I think even the last game was very interesting, but because of the ending and spoilers for Alice in Wonderland, it was all a shared dream from a meteorite shower. So there was kind of no tension really. The people who died in the game died in real life, but because it was all a dream, it kind of, I don't know, it just kind of felt like something like a way out, an easy way out. So, when reading One Piece, it's very hard to eat. I think One Piece is a show where you have a manga where you have to really binge it to if you want to really enjoy it, you have to binge it, because week to week is really just a massive struggle. And it's seen with these chats, and it's unfortunate that we've got this coronavirus, but even before that we were having breaks every 3 weeks so often. And I think Oda has just lost his edge really when it comes to packing a punch for each chapter, because this basically there's the flashback that we just had with Odin. It was just lacking, and there was just not really, there was no tension, there was no atmosphere, hype atmosphere. It was just very dull moments, very non-consequential moments. And I think there were some good moments. One good moment which I would say is Roger laughing, but apart from that, even Odin's death was kind of stamped on when after Odin's death we still got another 3 chapters of just the Red Scabbards and Toki pissing about and stuff, and a lot of it just didn't make sense from what we had gotten. And I think that's really disappointing, because previously Oda has just been on point. I'm saying pre-Timeskip, Oda was on point when it came to making having every piece by piece in place and stuff. And I think the problem is that Oda has become obsessed with the flashback. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying there are way fewer flashbacks in pre-Timeskip than our post-Timeskip. And when it comes to flashback, they were not really like, let's say Nolan's flashback. He wasn't even he was just a character. He was just a person mentioned. We never ever got to see him and stuff apart from that flashback. As a live character. But in post time skip, we're just seeing flashback for every villain, for every new character, for every new member joining that arc and stuff, and it's just frustrating that we have to go through all this shit to get to the good parts. And I think that's the problem with One Piece right now. You have to if I were to edit One Piece, then it would be like 100 chapters shorter right now. That's just my idea. No one's joining. Shame. So I think when we it should be interesting really to see how it goes, because we haven't got a fight yet in years. It's been 2 years since we had more than a chapter fight, and I think that's just, for a battle shonen, that's just, if this was any other shonen, any other, one of them, Shonen Jump or any other shonen manga, One Piece would just be absolutely, it'd be cut. You can't have a battle shonen without, an actual fight. Because we've been, My Hero Academia is only 260 chapters, and so many fights we've had, but we've had 100 fights in My Hero Academia, but the last especially in the last 100 chapters, but 100 chapters in One Piece, the last fight was Katakuri, and it's nearly been 100 chapters. I think it has been 100 chapters since the Katakuri fight ended. It's just obscene. When I called up to One Piece, we were at the Kaido fight, and that was, great, Luffy doing the elephant, gun. But then it was over, the next chapter. It was one panel of, 925 or whatever. And then, the next chapter was done in 10 pages. You can't, fine, I get it, trying to hype up Kaido. But then, he gets beaten by Odin, who was, not seen as strong. Well, you could say he's white bit, but Luffy, Luffy's now 1.5 billion bounty. He's got advanced, observation hierarchy. He's advanced his Devil Fruit to a length just short of, what's it called? Awakened. Just short of Awakened. But he's still considered the underdog. You can't make Luffy still the underdog. It just doesn't make sense. Blackbeard. No one's like, Blackbeard's the underdog. When Blackbeard was in Marineford, they're like, oh no, he's just Blackbeard because he has a shit old bounty. It wasn't, Blackbeard made his way through, but no one was like, oh, we're going to underestimate this. The only time we underestimated him was when he was a no-name. But when he was, captured 8, I was like, oh shit, this is the guy we have to deal with. And that was only, and he only captured a guy with a 500 million bounty. But now Luffy, with a 1.5 billion bounty, people are like, no, mate, he's still a little kid. He's just an idiot. He can't do anything to me. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You can't convince me that Luffy is still the underdog. It's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. Yeah. That's showing up in my what the fuck? What the chat box? You can't see my thing, can you? No. Doesn't matter, no one's. Can't seem to find my chat. Let me know, because no one's even watching. Isn't that just fucking great? No one decided to turn up to my YouTube. It's just me all alone doing stuff. Up to date with Agumon. Very good manga. Very interesting because it kind of slowed down with the farm arc, but I think that's kind of that gives a better character motivation for Miyamoto Musashi, and I think I am interested to what he does and stuff. And I know that he's got the massive fight with Sasaki Kojo, I can't remember, but I know there's still more to go. I think it was around 25, but historians have not been that sure about this and that and stuff. But I think it should be interesting because I know how it ends from other things doing, but from other mangas. But I think there should be I don't know, maybe Takehiko Inoue will change, but that's all speculation for the moment. But who knows? So, how was everyone today? Yeah, it's great. Ba, 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 ba. So I've seen how God has had some mixed opinions. I read the first couple of chapters, but my art just doesn't not really do it for me. I don't know why. I think it's just bland. I think there's no depth to it. Like with manga, there's depth to it, but with manhwa, it's flat. Everything is just flat, and there's no kinetic energy really. But that just could be my own opinion. But I wonder what it's rated on now. Should be interesting. So here the Pretender. I saw the Pretender trailer and it seems very good. It's sort of mystery noir stuff set in Hollywood, and I think Wit Studios are great anime studio, especially for those sort of indie titles. I don't know if you can say indie titles in anime, but they do. So it should be interesting what we got there. But they were saying they released. It seems like they finished all the episodes because we're releasing in like 5 days, 12 episodes. But who knows? It just could be something completely different. Skull got another 2 weeks for Kingdom research. I don't know why. I thought he was the best historian out there, but. Should be interesting what Harry does because we've finished the Zhao War now, or maybe, but we still got the 5 rest states. Should be interesting how that goes, who's going to die, stuff like that. I think, we're probably more intrigued in the Haishin unit. Will, the commanders die? Will, Sosui, then will Kyokai, Karaten, those are sort of, Yep. So, anyone deciding to join? Does not seem like it. How long have I been streaming for? 20 minutes, that's a good 20 minutes. A good sort of 20 minutes. 'Cause it's a good sort of 20 minutes. Maybe I should react to stuff like this 'cause I'm doing it all the time. So Berates is at least half and half in the chapter, which I think it was expected. It was interesting to see, and for once the spoilers were kind of off quite a lot, but that's to be expected because we only got one panel and there wasn't much context, but it just seems to see that the One Piece translators, especially the independent ones, are just, I don't know, it should be very interesting. So I've been doing the next video, well, my next scripted video will be on fights and how shonen fights have become worse and worse over the sort of years. I don't know what you guys' opinions on it. I think especially One Piece fights. I just don't like One Piece currently today, am I? No. One Piece fights just don't have the sort of they have the emotional impact, but the technical impact just isn't there. I think that's a shame because, that was the last smart thing in a fight that was done was Luffy putting water on his hands to defeat Crocodile back in chapter 150 or whatever. It does become very ridiculous. So it should be interesting. Finished Guards. That was just bad shit crazy. Ending with basically horse giants. Quite creepy. Didn't expect it. Maybe I wanted it to, tend towards a different conclusion than an all-right battle. But that's just how it is. Yeah. What you get from Gantz was batshit crazy till the end. I'm going to change something on my list. I don't know what. Can you guys see the chat? I don't know how chat works. It's 10 o'clock and there's no one on. It's actually 2 in the morning for me. That's just how it is. Doing all this stuff makes me very sad. What is the fucking point? Every day I just do the same thing. That's just creepy. Can't keep talking going for 20 minutes, can I? What makes JoJo so great? Let's do it. What makes JoJo so fucking amazing? I don't know. It's because it's great. The thought, the mindset, the characters were given. I think it's just thoroughly researched, dedicated to, respected. There is no shit when it comes to that, but you know, with fight scenes, for example, you know, how much, you know, there was no shitting around, basically. You know, it's a battle of the minds, mostly. And I think, you know, we say Risotto versus Doppio. Just the amount of thought and detail in every action, you know, from the, thinking, you know, taking into account the magnetism where Bucciarati's gang is. I think the anime really did it justice by, you know, with the animation, like the blood. You see what Patchwolf said with the blood on the camera. That's just some great direction from the animation staff to really immerse you in that sort of situation. And I think one of my favourite fights is not really a fight. It's Darby versus Jojo. I think that bluff at the end, what she did, was just amazing because, firstly, it, you know, made it, you know, hyped up Jojo's character to infinity, even though, you know, you couldn't hype it up even more. But it also hyped up Dio's power because there was always this secret behind Dio's power, especially with the non-Egyptian gods who were seen as more closer than the, you know, mercenaries, assassins that Dio sent in the first place. And so that Darby knew it, but was so scared that so scared even if he did win or did lose, he would be killed. I think that's just what made it such a great, you know, a great episode, great chapters and stuff like that. And, you know, the whole bluff, the whole, you know, emotion, the soundtrack, the animation direction where, you know, Darby's body, you know, fades in and out of each other. I think it was just amazing. You know, the change of, you know, animation style was just really amazing. And the reveal at the end when Jojo was completely bluffing was just a real good plot twist. Do da 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 da, do da da da. Anybody else? Anybody want to join? Speak now, love forever, hold your peace. Well, that will end it. Thanks everyone for watching. I've been Shadow Badger, and if you want to join, just